This video guitar lesson is all about how to stop unwanted sounds, string noise, or just unwanted notes when you play the guitar. Let's get right into it. So for this example, I am playing an A minor pentatonic scale. The first note is right here, the low E string, the 5th fret. What I can do is use my first finger almost like I'm playing a bar chord, but I'm not pressing down on any of the strings. My finger, this part of my finger right here, is just hovering over the strings, just muffling them like that. And the only string that's actually really being fretted is that one string that I want at that time. So I'll play that note. And this way, there's no sound coming from the other strings. And then when I go to the next note, my finger will start to move up so that I can play this note here, which is the next note in the scale. But then I'm going to immediately start doing the same thing, muffling all the other strings. So this finger is muffling all the strings underneath the string that I'm playing. Also, the tip of my finger is touching the string above it. So let's say I'm on the 5th fret of the A string. Right here, I'm not only playing that string, I'm playing that note and muffling all the strings below that, I'm also touching, you can see that right there, I'm touching the low E string, which is above it, to muffle that one. Another thing you can try is using your right hand, using your palm to mute and muffle strings that are not in use. I'm going to play the same scale and watch what's happening now. Slow it down a little bit. So what's happening is when I'm playing the low E string, this part of my wrist here is touching the guitar like this. It's actually flat on there, so it's not floating in the air. It's touching the wood. And I don't need to mute the low E string because I want to hear the notes played there. But once I get to the next string, this part of my palm right here is starting to touch the low E string to muffle it. And then as I move down and I'm playing the following strings in the scale, my whole palm is staying on the strings and moving down like this. So I'm going to do it slowly again. Now I'm touching the low E string, now the A string, the D string, and so on. And as I make my way back up, I'm just reversing the process. I like to play with a pick with these fingers outward like that, but you can take advantage if you like to play like this of muting strings with these fingers as well. So it's almost like a hybrid picking technique if you're familiar with that, but you're not picking with these fingers, you're actually muting strings with them. So I don't use that technique, but you can give that a try, especially if you already have your fingers in that position. Another thing you can try is to practice and get in the habit of turning your volume up and down very fast, like this. So whenever I'm not playing, the volume is all the way down, and then before I start playing, I'm going to place my left hand like this, flat over all the strings, and then I'm going to turn up the volume. And the reason for that is because if I don't do it, I may have, from just moving the guitar, a little bit of string vibration, and then when I turn up my volume, it's going to be audible, or if I'm moving my fingers around. And so the idea is to have the volume all the way down, mute the strings in as many ways as possible, then turn up the volume, then start playing. And as soon as I'm done, I turn the volume down, and it's a habit that my hand goes flat like this. So I'm never going to get out of that habit. I'm not going to start playing guitar like this with my hands in the air and then turn up the volume and have all kinds of noises going. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to play, mute all the strings, get in position. Like if I'm starting at the 5th fret, I'll start here, 12th fret, I'll start here, then turn up my volume and then play. And I can even actually start a note and then turn up the volume. So just like playing the guitar, these techniques may seem uncomfortable or strange at first, but as you practice it, it will become muscle memory, it'll become a habit, and you won't even realize that you're doing it, and your guitar playing will sound a lot cleaner, you'll have a lot less unwanted noises, and when you do start to notice a difference in your sound, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you.